from WBAY TV, your first alert station. Action 2 News at 4:30 starts now.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us here at 4:30. We are live from the EAA grounds in Oshkosh. AirVenture, of course, beginning on Monday. You are looking live at where the popular warbirds will be gathered next week, and you can see a couple already in place. Here's a live look at the main runway here, where the rest of the warbirds and other aircraft will be touching down for AirVenture. Some later today, many more this weekend. You're looking at probably the busiest runway in Wisconsin over the next 10 days. And here's a live look at where the always interesting ultralights are going to stage. The first ultralight showed up here at EAA for the fly-in 1976. 3 years later, there were 100, and that number continues to rise, so you are going to see plenty of those this week as well. And we welcome you into our location here behind the EAA Museum on the grounds and right in front of EAA's B-17, the aluminum forecast. This World War II era bomber still not flying, but has been put on prominent display here for the week. And what a display next week is going to be for aviation enthusiasts. Over 600,000 expected to attend the 71st AirVenture. Now, some already trickling in today. This was the scene this morning. This is called the mass arrival. It's Piper Cherokees. Clubs are going to meet with their airplanes at an airport nearby Oshkosh, usually within 100 miles is what we're told. Then they all fly here together to Whitman Field, and plane after plane touching down. Now, there's another mass arrival scheduled for just about the top of the hour today. This time it'll be Cessnas. More on tap this weekend as EAA throttles up towards opening day. And that, of course, means there is plenty of taking place on the grounds. A lot of activity to get ready. Our Emily Byer is live at Boeing Plaza with more on the setup. Hi, Emily.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, so there are a lot of folks out here that are still setting up all these buildings, everything. They create a whole town out here at EAA AirVenture, and I'm joined by the busiest man in the world right now, Dick Napinski, the Director of Communications with EAA AirVenture. Tell us, what is this day for everybody? I mean, there's so many people setting up. We saw someone build a building right before my eyes today.
Well, it's a lot of stuff going on, which is interesting because you're still putting up the city, as you called it. Yeah. At the same time, we have people arriving and are starting to look around saying, hey, what's out here right now? Yeah. So it's an interesting mix. It's something you wouldn't do at Lambeau. You keep the stadium closed before the game would start. Right. But here, we're setting up the stadium while people are coming in and sitting down in the stands while we're still building them. So it's kind of that correlation.
Yeah, and it's really cool because that's half the show. I was watching some of these big planes come in here, and Boeing Plaza is different every day. It
is different every day. You know, we've got the B-52 coming in, of course, but, you know, some of the other ones that we have in, you've seen arrive. The C-17 came in already today. The C-130 came in, the Cobra attack helicopter in our background here. So it's starting to fill up, and that's what makes it exciting when these airplanes get here.
Mm-hmm. And for you, for this week, there's always something new to check out. What are some of those new things happening this week?
Well, some of the new things happening, of course, we have a lot of things on the ramp here. We'll have a B-52 coming in on Sunday evening. It'll be the mainstay of the ramp. We have a lot of things for families out here. Step by the Youth Resource Center or the Youth Welcome Tent and find out for the age groups what you want for your families. And, of course, kids 18 and under are free, and so bring the family on out for this throughout the week. So starting Monday, yeah, we're just going to try to catch our breath this weekend a little bit, get the last 90% of things done, and be ready to go on Monday morning.
Yeah. What is the feedback that you've been getting from vendors? A lot of these are folks, I mean, this is a reunion of sorts, so a lot of people come out here every year. You also get a lot of new people. We spoke to some vendors. This is their first time coming here, and it was like a bucket list. They are so excited to be here. Tell me, what is it like? What's the feedback that you get from some of these vendors when they come in and set up for the week?
Yeah, for these aviation vendors, this is their Christmas season. They reach directly to their consumers, the piloting community. They can talk to their customers. Customers can talk to them, can compare prices. So really for them, if you think for a retailer in our area what the Christmas season is like, that's what AirVenture is for the aviation business.
Yeah, and for a lot of folks that maybe live in the area and you know, they're familiar with EAA AirVenture because it happens every year, but maybe they've never been here. Why is it so important for folks to come out and check it out? Again, you highlighted that the 18 and under, you can come out here for free, so it's worth the trip. Again, there's so much to learn.
There is so much to learn, and really for people who haven't been out here before, it's a gathering place of people and airplanes that happens no place else in the world. So if you like aviation, if you like history, if you like new technology, heck, if you like the people watch, this is one of the king spots you'll ever going to find any place. So come on out, enjoy it, be the person who is watching people while people are watching you.
I love that. Oh, thank you so much, Dick. Again, you are a wealth of knowledge, and of course, there is so much to check out. We have that schedule for you on our website, WBAY.com, the EAA schedule. There's lots to check out, but for now, Chris, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Emily, thank you so much, and thank you to Dick. And welcome back. You're looking live again at Boeing Plaza. A different look this time. That's on the left, and on the right, some of the vintage aircraft that are already in place for AirVenture, which of course starts on Monday, as we welcome you back to our position in front of the aluminum overcast alongside a very familiar face, Jerry Burke.
Speaking of vintage.
We parked, well, then we have you parked in the wrong spot. You have been on these grounds for a very, very long time. You covered EAA, as we all know, for a very long time.
54 years.
You also volunteered, so
yes.
You add those two together, and it's over 50 years. And now, we visited with you on this program before about your first book, but now it's a second book. It's called On the Grounds and Up, and it is all about the legion of volunteers that make AirVenture what it is. And I'm wondering just why you wanted to write the book, and if it had anything to do with Paul Poboresny's, the founder of all this, his famous quote.
Paul once asked me to write his biography. I didn't have time. After the AirVenture 2022, Jim Kepnick and I got together and talked about the volunteers. They never get the credit they deserve. This would not happen without them, pure and simple.
How many are there?
More than 5,000.
Every year?
Every year. And no matter where you go, if you need help, one is there to help you. They always have a good attitude.
Right.
And if they don't know the answer, they'll go to a veteran volunteer, as I call it, and ask, hey, where can we send this person?
Sure.
It was, in writing it was fun because the people were so happy that we're being recognized.
It was interesting to me to learn so much about people that I didn't think would be volunteers, like the air show performers. That's all volunteers. Now, they have to be invited to participate, but you covered pretty much everything from the cooks that prepare all the meals to the volunteers. There's even flying clubs that come in and volunteer their time to help repair planes that fly in here. How did you narrow this down?
It was hard. I said in the front end of the book that this book would have never been finished if I would have gone after all the volunteers. So I had to be selective. And I went, how am I going to pick this out? The air show people, that's an obvious one. The warbirds, obvious.
Yeah.
The ultralights, pretty obvious. I mean, it was just...
Some great stories in here, and great photos, too.
Yeah, well, Jimmy Kepnick, God bless him, he is the best aviation photographer in the world.
When we talked about your first book, that was all about your life as a reporter. This is about something that has meant so much to you in your life as an Air Force veteran. Was there a different sense of accomplishment with this one?
Boy, that's a good question.
Thanks.
Well, you're paid for that. It's really dedicated to my uncle who was killed in World War II. Uncle Jerry was a B-24 pilot. Mm-hmm. He was shot down 1 week before D-Day. And I guess it was his push for me that drove the book, made me want to do it. Plus, the big thing was the people that I have met and worked with out here over the years. Chris, they're wonderful. There's a few, as there is anywhere, but 99% of the people are just A+.
Well, that takes us back to Paul's famous quote. You come for the planes, you come back for the people.
Absolutely.
And come get the book. You can find it on Amazon and here on the grounds as well.
At the EAA warehouse. I'll be signing them every day, 9 to 11.
Terrific. Jerry, thanks so much.
Chris, thanks for having me. I sure appreciate it.
What are we looking for?
Possibly a downed aircraft off the approach window 36 left.
Yeah, we got it. He's on fire just off of our left side at the tree line.
The NTSB investigating a deadly plane crash near EAA AirVenture. It happened this afternoon, 2 miles south of Whitman Regional Airport in Oshkosh. Multiple agencies responded to a farm field in the area of Old Knapp Road and Nakaimai Avenue in the town of Nakaimai. 2 people were on board the plane. Both are dead. The FAA says the plane was an amateur-built Landcare ES. EAA says the flight was arriving and not part of any air show demonstrations. Happening now, here's a live look at the busiest week of the year for Oshkosh as EAA AirVenture officially is kicking off today. They're expecting more than 650,000 attendees for the week, but this tradition in Oshkosh could not happen if not for thousands of volunteers. Emily Byer joins us live from Whitman Regional Airport with highlights from today. Emily.
Cami, there is always so much to see out here at AirVenture, and there's a little something for everyone, including the youngest visitors. This year, KidVenture is celebrating 25 years. More than 350 volunteers help bring the little village of KidVenture to life every year. This is where kids can explore, learn, and engage with activities. There's games and lots of opportunities to learn about STEM and STEM careers. Brittany Canadelli has been coming to KidVenture since 1999. Her mother, Tina Stott, brought her when she was just a child. Tina started volunteering with KidVenture and Brittany joined on, both of them loving the focus on kids and learning, and both can't wait to be back every year.
Every year it's just been a family vacation, and here we are. And I have an 8-year-old now, and she comes with us, she volunteers, and it's just something. It's our family vacation every year. And it just feels normal. It's not work. It just feels like a routine. Like every time, this time in July, here we are, we're at KidVenture, and I look forward to it every year.
And a reminder for parents, children 18 and under do get into EAA AirVenture for free, making it more affordable for more families to come out and explore. Reporting live in Oshkosh, Emily Byer, Action 2 News.
EAA AirVenture continuing this week, and there's a popular exhibit that allows pilots to experience the effects of hypoxia.
It's in the FAA Safety Center on the ground. The building has booths all dedicated to pilot safety. And the first alert update, Emily Byer takes a closer look.
This one exhibit offers the hypoxia chamber. Hypoxia is the loss of oxygen. This can happen at higher elevations, and unfortunately it can be deadly. The FAA has what's called the Portable Reduced Oxygen Training Enclosure. It simulates the experience so pilots can learn how hypoxia affects them. Hypoxia affects everyone differently, so having this self-awareness can potentially save a pilot's life. You can see here how it works. The pilots go into an enclosed chamber, oxygen is pumped out and nitrogen is pumped in. The pilots then do a couple of simple tests. Some of the symptoms they tell us they experience was shortness of breath, lightheadedness, but other symptoms can be tingling, bluish skin or lips, confusion, sweating, poor coordination, impaired judgment, and even nausea. When pilots know how hypoxia affects them early, they can correct it.
But everyone's different, so that's why we bring them into the pro, so they can experience those symptoms individually and go, hey, this is what I feel like when I'm hypoxic. Now I know to either one, get on O2, or check my O2 source or flow rate, or even my equipment to make sure there's no blockage or anything like that that restricts them from getting that oxygen that they need.
The organizers tell us this exhibit is very popular. They were actually sold out for the whole day today, and you do have to sign up the morning of. They do open at 8:30, but today there was a line of about 100 people at 6:20, so you do want to get there early. Reporting in Oshkosh, Emily Byer, Action 2 News.
Welcome back. Miss America herself stopped by the busy EAA AirVenture grounds in Oshkosh today. Madison Marsh is the first active duty military member to win that title. She's the second lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force. Brittany Schmidt caught up with her today as she takes in all that EAA has to offer.
Bill, while Madison Marsh's love for aviation knows no bounds, the first thing she said to us today is that it's the people that are her favorite part here in Oshkosh at EAA AirVenture. She says what's great about Oshkosh is that it showcases and highlights a very important message. You don't have to be a pilot to be part of the aviation community. She says the different vendors and events and booths and information available is amazing to see, and she hopes it reminds young people there are so many opportunities within the aviation world that don't require you to fly a plane. She attended the Women's AirVenture portion and was astonished to see about 1,000 women standing there, young women and girls interested in the field. She says that sight, that passion she witnessed, is an inspiration to her.
Looking back and thinking about how I was at that age and continuing to know that if we continue to work this hard, we can grow that community even more for young men and women. And it was just so beautiful seeing that yesterday, and I think that's a really great part of every single time that I get to go to these aviation events.
Marsh is currently recruiting for the U.S. Air Force. Tonight at 6, why she says it's a career path to consider if aviation is on your radar. Reporting in Oshkosh, Brittany Schmidt, Action 2 News.
Popular spot at AirVenture every year, of course, the Warbird area. Hundreds of planes, helicopters, and other historic aircraft have been restored beyond their original glory and painted in colorful patterns. One AirVenture regular who restored and flies a Vietnam-era Huey helicopter says it often draws an emotional response from veterans.
Every day I meet multiple veterans that flew them or in them, and maybe the Huey saved their life, and it's amazing.